And whatever they said, it didn't greatly affect the basic course of politics which was established by the bureaucracy and the class which it represented. Active politics was carried on behind the scenes in deals and compromises between the parties and between the classes and in the bureaucracy. But now, Thaddeus Stevens, as chairman of the Ways and Means Committee of the House, remodeled the whole procedure of the House of Representatives to meet the great need that they had to have at least one business-like working body in the governmental structure. This was an absolute necessity. Anything that Lincoln asked for in the way of powers, money, or legislation was given to him almost immediately, insofar as it was possible for the House to deliver it. No fancy resolutions were allowed. No long-winded speeches for the majority were tolerated. When the minority demanded too much time for discussion of an urgent measure, it was refused by reverting to the committee as a whole, or suspension of the rules, to consider the measure and limiting debate. After the House had been organized and working for about 3 weeks, Stevens passed through an appropriation of $10 million to be placed in the hands of the President for the purchase of arms. Another $200,000 he said set aside for the defense of the Capitol, and on the same day placed at Lincoln's disposal an additional $10 million for the purchase of ordnance. The entire stenographic report of the passage of these separate bills was less than 500 words. Well, by actions of the House, such as these, the materials of war were placed in the hands of the President, and the vigorous program which Stevens introduced into the House with its stern methods gave a semblance of leadership to the country, impressing the various indifferent communities with the seriousness of the war, and that somebody was serious about it besides the common soldier. However, although Stevens' actions were decisive in getting the government in a position to put an army in the field, they were not enough to assure that this army would be an effective military instrument. This had to await the intervention of the slaves and a decisive change in the policy of the government, which we will take up next week and the week after. Thank you, and the floor is open for questions and discussion.